Hi there. Before we start, kindly subscribe to the channel, like my videos, and share it with your friends. In this video, we are going to solve Cambridge IGCSE Mathematics Paper 2 Extended, Variant 22, October-November 2019. Question number 16 is an inequality question. By shading the unwanted regions of the grid, find and label the region R that satisfies the following inequalities. We have been given 3 inequalities. One has already been drawn for us. The next 2 we have to draw. So the first one is y is less than 5. This is the value of y and this is 5. So we'll draw a line here. This is the first line, y is less than 5. The other inequality you have is y is more than or equal to x plus 1. So we have to draw this line. First we will find 2 points. When x is 0, what is the value of y? Y is 0 plus 1, so y is equal to 1. So 0 and 1 is our 1 point. When x is 0, y is 1 is this point here. The second point we are going to find by writing when y is 0. When y is 0, that will not work here. We'll take another point for x. Choose any point you want. When x is 4, we will take. So when x is 4, in place of x, we are going to put 4. 4 plus 1, 5. So the other point is when x is 4, which is here, y is 5. That is here. So we are going to join these 2 points together. The first inequality is y is less than 5. We want y is less than 5. So y is more than 5 is going to be cancelled. Then we have to find for y is less than or equal to x plus 1. Choose any point. This is the line, correct? Choose one point before or after the line. I'm choosing when x is 2, y is 4. Now I'll replace it here. Y is 4 and x is 2. Is the inequality true? 4 is more than or equal to 3, correct? Yes, so this is the right region. This region is cancelled. For the inequality y is more than or equal to x plus 1. Then the other one we have is y is 2x plus y is more than or equal to 6. Again, we'll choose a point. We'll use the same point that we used when x is 2, y is 4. Sorry, this is an x here. So when x is 2, y is 4. We are getting 8. So yes, 8 is more than or equal to 6. So this is our region. And this is the non-wanted region. Question number 17. The diagram shows a scale drawing of Lee's garden PQRS. The scale is 1 centimeter, represents 2 meters. Lee has a birth table in the garden that is equidistant from PQ and QR and 13 meters from R. Equidistance from two lines means that we need to find the perpendicular bisector of the angle. To find the perpendicular bisector, suppose this is the angle you have. This is P, Q and R. Take your compass and make an arc here. With the same length, make an arc here. From this point with the same length, make an arc here, and from here cut the same arc. Join the vertex and the center of the arc. That is how you find the perpendicular bisector. And the second part is 13 meters from R. So first let's find 1 centimeter is equal to 2 meters. So 13 meters will equal how many centimeters? We cross multiply. 1 multiplied by 13 is 13. 2 multiplied by x, 2x. 13 divided by 2 is x. 6.5 centimeter is x. So from R, we'll measure 6.5 centimeter and make an arc like this. So this is how your arc will look like. From R, we make an arc with 6.5 centimeter. And for the angle bisector, this is the first arc we will make, the second arc. From the second arc, we will make an arc here, and from the first arc here. That's how we cut the arcs. So the birth table is going to be at this point. Question number 18. Harris is taking a driving test. The probability that he passes the driving test at the first attempt is 0.6. If he fails, the probability that he passes at any further attempt is 0.75. Calculate the probability that Harris A passes the driving test at the second attempt. At the second attempt means he fails at the first attempt. So he fails at the first attempt and he passes in the second attempt. The chances of his passing the driving test in the first attempt is 0.6. So failing will be 1 minus 0.6, which is 0.4. And the passing in the second attempt is 0.75. So we multiply them both. And the answer is 0.3. Part B takes no more than 3 attempts to pass the driving test. This means that he could have passed in the first attempt. If he passes in the first attempt, what is the probability? 0.6. Or when the word or comes, we put plus. He passed in the second attempt. We already found that it is 0.3. Or he could have passed in the third attempt. If he passed in the third attempt, it means he failed in the first, he failed in the second, and he passed in the third attempt. So the first attempt, if he fails, we know that the probability is 0.4. But for the second attempt, his chances of passing is 0.5. Therefore, fail will be 1 minus 0.75, which is 0.25. So 0.25. And the third, if he passes, is 0.75. Put this whole thing in the calculator and we will get our answer as 0.975. So that is the probability that he takes no more than 3 attempts to pass the driving test. Question number 19. So this is a circle theorem question. The first thing is find an expression in terms of x in its simplest form for A angle AOB. Angle AOB is here. This is a radius and this is a radius. So the sides are same. Therefore, the angles opposite are also same. It's an isosceles triangle. We can write that angle AOB plus 2x is equal to 180, correct? So angle AOB is equal to 180 minus 4x. Next, find angle ACB. ACB is this. Also, we know that this angle is 2 times this angle. So if suppose you have this as 2x, this will be x. The angle at the circumference is half the angle at the center. So angle ACB will be half of 180 minus 4x. So 180 divided by 2, 90. And 4x divided by 2 is negative 2x. And then the next question, find angle DAP. D, A, and B. In part C, we have to find angle DAB. So this is the angle we are looking at, DAB. You need to know the cyclic quadrilateral rule. If a quadrilateral is any polygon with 4 sides. If a quadrilateral vertices touches the circle, the circumference of the circle, all the 4 vertices, it is a cyclic quadrilateral. In a cyclic quadrilateral, the opposite angles equal to 180. So angle DCB plus angle DAB equal to 180. We already know what is DCB. It is x plus 90 minus 2x plus angle DAB is equal to 180. 90 minus x plus angle DAB is equal to 180. Now we are going to move the 90 and the x to the other side. The plus 90 will be negative 90 and the x will be positive x. And therefore the answer is 90 minus x. Angle DAB is equal to 90 minus x. I'm sorry, I made a sign mistake here. It is 90 plus x, 90 plus x. Question number 20 is a factorizing question. When you have 4 terms like this, break it into 2 parts. So I'll write it on the side here, 18y minus 3ay. For a question like that, always make a bracket here, put the sign which is there in the middle, and let's see what is common now. The first thing we can see common is the y. So we factorize the y out. A is not common, so that is left here. 18 and 3. So 18 is a multiple of 3. 3 times 6 is 18 and 3 times 1 is 3. So again, what is common? 3. That is what we factorize out. And we are left with 6 and 1. We don't write 1a, we can just write it as a. So that is the first part we have here, 3y, 6 minus a. Now for the second 2 terms, 12x minus 2ax. Whenever you have 4 terms and you're factorizing, remember that you will have one bracket as same. So you have 6 minus a. You are supposed to get 6 minus a here. So what is common you can see? X is common. And to find the number out, you can divide this first term with the first term here. 12 divided by 6, 2x. So we will have plus 2x, 6 minus a. This was a shorter way of doing. The other way is like the way we factorized before. So you have 12x minus 2ax. Put a bracket and you can see that the x is common. We factorize the x. The a is here. 2 times 6 is 12 and 2 times 1, 2. The 2 is factorized out and the 6 is left here. Also remember to put the sign, it is plus 2x. After you have done with that, the numbers or the terms that are outside, join them together. 3y plus 2x, and the factors which are same, we write it as one factor. Next one. In the next part of the question, we can see that 3 is common. So we factorize the 3 out. We'll be left with x squared minus 16y squared. Whenever you have squares, suppose you have a squared minus b squared, we use the difference of squares rule, which is a minus b and a plus b. This identity is really very important. You need to know it very well. You can see that 16 is also a square number, so you can write 4y bracket square. Now, this is the same as my a and this is the same as my b. A square minus b square. So I can use the identity a minus b and a plus b. So x minus 4y bracket x plus 4y. Question number 21. These are indices and 81 is not an indice. So we are going to change it into the power of 3. Whenever you have something to the power, we have 3 to the power of negative 2, 3 to the power of x, and the other number is not as a power, change it to the power form also. So it has to be the same base. If we have a 3 and 3, this also has to be 3 to the power of something. Put in the calculator and check, you will get 3 to the power of 4 is 81. Because the base is same, 3 and 3 and 3, they get cancelled out. And you are left with negative 2 plus x is equal to 4. Why did we put plus x? Using the indices rule, if the base is same and you are multiplying, it means you add the powers. So that's what we did. And x is equal to 4. The negative 2 will be moved to the other side. It will become positive 6. So x is equal to 6. Part B. X to the power of negative 1 over 3 is equal to 32 x to the power of negative 2. We will move the x to the power of negative 2 to the other side. It's a multiply. So when you move to the other side, it's going to be a divide. Is equal to 32. For this one, we are going to use the second rule of indices. If you divide, then you subtract the powers. And I'm sure all of you are aware that this is a form of divide. So we are going to use that rule. X to the power of negative 1 over 3 minus 2. The power here is negative 2. So that's the reason there's a negative 2 in the bracket. And this is equal to 32. Just put this whole thing in the calculator. And you will get 5 over 2. X to the power of 5 over 3 is equal to 32. If you want to make x the subject, this is another rule that you need to know. When we move the powers to the other side, so we have 5 over 3. If I want to shift the power, we flip the power. This is how we will write 32 to the power of 3 over 5. And put this whole thing in the calculator, you will get x is equal to 8. So today we went through 3 rules: the multiplication rule, the divide rule, and shifting the power rule. Question number 23 is a speed time graph, and it shows information about a train journey. By drawing a suitable tangent to the graph, estimate the gradient of the curve at t is equal to 24. So this is, we can see that each 2 square is 1 unit. This will be 21, 22, 23, and 24. So this is the place where we are going to make the tangent. This is how we draw a tangent. It means the curve at t is 24. To find the gradient, we have to choose 2 points. Try to choose points that seem easy to you. I'm choosing this one because in here we have when t is 20, s is 3. So that's a very clear point. 20 and 3. The next point I'm choosing is this point here. This is 27.5 and y is 0. To find the gradient, we use the formula y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So we are going to subtract 3 minus 0 in the numerator. and in the denominator the x values, which is 20 minus 27.5, and the gradient is negative 0.4. If you have the gradient in the range of negative 0.7 to negative 0.3, your answer will be marked right. Next part of the question, what does this gradient represent? The gradient in a speed time graph always represents either acceleration, or if it is negative, deceleration. Both the answers are right. For part C, work out the distance traveled by the train when it is traveling at constant speed. To find distance, we use the formula distance is equal to speed multiplied by time. Speed is, when is the speed constant? When is it traveling constantly at this part? It's a straight line, means constant. So the speed is 4. Now the time. The corresponding time here is 5, and we have 22. This is 22. This line is 20, 21, 22. So that is our time. 22 minus 5, which is 68. And that's our answer. And this brings us to the end of this video. I hope I have been able to help you. If yes, kindly like the video, post a comment and let me know how I've helped you. Thank you for watching, and share it with your friends.